One of the big challenges that organizations face today is that they strategize in an inappropriate context. What they do is spend an inordinate amount of time trying to understand what is going on in their market today, the actual operations of the market, their value chain, and how the market is, the assumptions are based on what is happening today. This in strategic terms is inappropriate, because the only context you should be strategizing in is the future context. If, for example, your strategic horizon is 3 years, your assumptions for your strategy should be based on how you see your markets in 3 years' time. That is the context you should be strategizing in, not your current context. Strategy done in current context creates a current future, and a current future is suboptimal. It is a future that is harder and harder to achieve because it's actually out of context. The world has moved, your market has moved, and your strategy is based on obsolete or old world assumptions. A far more appropriate way of doing strategy is to really understand a future world, and this requires you to think about where your markets are going to, how your context is going to change. Now, clearly no one can predict the future with certainty. However, detailed analysis, time spent really thinking about the trends that are driving your industry, the trends that are driving the macroeconomic environment you're operating in, will give you some clear indications of where you think your markets are going. That is the context you need to be strategizing in. You need to develop core assumptions about a future. Once you have those assumptions about that ideal future, then you can strategize into it, because you will then be able to create the ideal future for yourself. Ideally, what should your organization be able to do in that future market context off the assumptions you've created? Once you have backcasted your ideal future with your current reality, that then begins to give you your strategic agenda for the ensuing years. The gap between an ideal future based on future assumptions in that future context and your current reality is, in essence, what your strategy should be.